Hello, beautiful people. You're welcome back again to my channel. My name is Joy, and compliments of the season to you all. If you're a returning subscriber, I appreciate you, and if you are new to this channel, I still appreciate you. Well, so far so good. We've been having so many updates since we entered this month of December. Probably because the year is coming to an end, so we are just trying to quickly wrap up some things. Well, I've been bringing some updates to you, and some I've posted them on my shorts. So if there's anyone you are missing out, kindly check my shorts for those updates. But there's this interesting update I'm bringing to you guys today, and that's the Caregiver program. And the application portal will be open January 1st, 2024. And you know one thing about this route is that as soon as they open the portal, almost in within 2 hours, they will get their quota. It has happened like that severally, so I'm not going to be surprised if it happens again. So most persons now are going through this route because it is now more flexible than it used to be before now. But again, some people are like, I don't know how to apply the requirements and all that. So first of all, know that you need to be a caregiver, or you need to be in the health line to be able to qualify for this application. Okay, so without any further ado, I will just go to their site straight away to read what you need. It's just straight to the point. And in case you don't know what your NOC is your National Occupation Classification. I'll also be stating it here, and I also have some persons that don't know what their CLB is. You know, some people know IELTS score or their language test score, because obviously you can make use of your English test language, or you can also make use of your French, whichever one you want to use. The bottom line is you meeting up with the CLB. Let me quickly say it here. CLB is different from aggregate. So you need to know the difference, but I'll just be putting the table, the CLB calculator, I'll be putting it on the screen so you will know where you belong. You need a particular CLB for this application. Employers are not required to undergo the LMIA process to hire a caregiver. This has been a lot of constraints. Most persons don't know what LMIA is. LMIA is a document that an employer in Canada needs to have in order to be able to hire somebody. Okay, and when you are being hired by an employer with LMIA, there is every possibility that you'll be able to get your work permit. But now this program is no longer LMIA driven, okay, because it's not easy to get an employer that has LMIA. And on this channel, I've ever told you how to know an employer that has LMIA, that also has an LMIA pending, and the rest. So now it's no longer a yardstick. Okay, so the second one is that if you get a job from an employer as a caregiver, you can work anywhere. Some people like to do two jobs, so you can be working with this employer as a caregiver and also be working with another employer, depending on how flexible the job is for you. You can also be working for another employer, yeah, as a caregiver. But note, you shouldn't deviate from your um, NOC. What I'm trying to say is that don't work here as a caregiver and go work here as a cook. There are two different occupations. It is occupation specific, so particular occupation, but you can work for different employers. You can work in a different location. You know, work permit stage is like you are in between. When you are having work permit, it's still like a temporary visa, right? And then you'll be feeling like you don't have that full ground to bring your family. But it's not like that here. Even at the work permit stage, you can apply for your family to come over, and it's totally fine. Now there's a lot of flexibility in this new caregiver program compared to how it was before. Yes, this program came out initially, but it was really, really very cumbersome. But now, with all these things, it's a bit flexible. Let's see the requirement for this caregiver program. First, you need to have a valid job offer from a Canadian employer. Note, LMIA is not needed. The second is that you need to have at least 1 year of verifiable work experience under the program you want to apply for, maybe the home support worker or home child care worker. Then again, you need to have a Canadian post-secondary education or its equivalent. You also need to have a CLB of 5 in your language test, either English or French. Lastly, you need to be admissible into Canada. In case you don't know the duties of a home child care provider, so the duties are as follows: babysitter, nanny, child care, live-in, child care provider in a private home, a parent helper. So the requirements are as follows. The provider must have completed at least the Canadian secondary school or its equivalent. Then the care provider must complete the appropriate training. There's a training involved. It's beyond just going to school. You need to be certified that yes, you can actually take care of a child or children. Then you must also have appropriate experience, including household management experience. Then in some cases, you need the first aid certification and cardiopulmonary resuscitation. That's what we call the CPR training. It may also be required. Now, the duties for you to carry out is that you supervise and take care of children at your residence, prepare and feed meals to children, take care of infants by preparing formulas, changing diapers, bathing, and dressing them. Then you also need to make sure that the child's emotional well-being is being taken care of along with their social development. Then you need to maintain discipline as instructed by the parents. Then provide educational training to the children, take them to school if required. Then keep records of the children's activities. So that's all for the home child care provider program. Let's come to the home support workers, housekeepers, and related occupations. So we have related occupations such as those working in the daycare, the early childhood educators. They kind of have something related to this home child care support. So you can also try your luck to see that you apply if you have these qualifications. So now let's talk about the home support workers, housekeepers, and related occupations. So this program is for professionals who have experience in providing care for senior citizens, people with disabilities, and people recovering from illness or undergoing medical treatment. It is a category that requires care to be provided at the employer's residence. Please note that. Okay, and allows the caregiver to reside within the employer's home. Employment in this category is done by home care and support agencies, private households, or can be self-employed. For housekeepers, all types of house management duties will be required. If you are trying to apply as a housekeeper, so also know your duties. So professionals that fall under this category may be any of the following: family caregivers, home support worker, attendant for people with disabilities, life-in caregiver for seniors, respite workers, housekeeper, personal aid, and the home support. So now let's go to the requirement for this home support worker. You must have completed at least secondary school. You should have experience in house management. You should have completed college or other courses in home support. In some cases, First aid certification may also be required. Training in care for the elderly people with disabilities and convalescent care. So those are the requirements. Then you want to know your duties, you need to provide care. In fact, when you go to your NOC, you will see everything there. Okay? You perform routine health related duties, you collect medications, and then you may also wash their laundry. That's for the housekeeping management, washing dishes, and the rest. Under this caregiver program, the caregivers will be scrutinized for their permanent residence applications as well before they'll be able to get their work permits to work with their Canadian employers as home child care provider or as home support worker. So the caregivers will receive the decision on their work permit applications in around 10 to 12 months, while their PR applications will be held until they complete their 2 years of work experience with the Canadian employers. So you must have worked for about 2 years with the employer for you to be able to get your permanent residency, and you need to have worked so about a year or so to get your work permit, because without work permit you can't switch to permanent residency. I believe I'll be able to explain what this program is all about. Please kindly take note of the requirements, okay? If you have any other question related to this, kindly let me know in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching, and if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, please do, and kindly comment, like, and share this video. See you all in my next one. Bye.